Recording in progress right now. So, hi guys, we are the Juntos workshop team. Before we start this interview for our experiences, I just want everyone to introduce themselves, get their pronouns, and yeah, all that jazz.
You want to go first?
Oh yeah, sure. So my name is Ace, he, they.
All right. I'm Karina Vega, she, they. Colleen.
Hi, I'm Colleen Rua, she, her.
And I am Dominique Zaragoza, she, her.
All right, thank you guys for introducing yourselves. And so we're going to start off this interview about experience with you, Dom. And I get the first question. First of all, I just want to say how grateful I am to work with you. You're very easy to work with and to collaborate, and you have an amazing painting skills. And I'm very glad that the community of Orocovis enjoyed your painting and our Juntos fish. And I'm excited to tell you that No Había Luz has adopted your fish to be used for future comparsas. So yeah.
That's so cute. That makes me so happy.
All right. So my question, I'm going to be reading it first. So yeah, you've been open to all the changes that we have made to the design of our fish, and very open and easy to collaborate with, despite the challenges such as distance, travel, and the creative difficulties of working with the plastic arts in the design of the Juntos fish. So my question is, how did it feel seeing your work going from idea to supplies to collaboration from Gainesville to all the way to the community at Orocovis?
So it's always fun to we call it page to stage, right? Well, this in this case it's not necessarily a stage, but anytime you have like a just an idea, a little nugget of of an idea and we're brainstorming, we all met in the park to like work on it. Seeing it come to life is always super fun. And I think like I didn't really feel like it was alive until you sent me pictures of like adding the scales to it. That was like I was like, oh, it's doing what it's supposed to do. And the challenges of like making it fit in a suitcase, making it like easily transportable to like so far away, like all that stuff is just super fun. You kind of just roll with the punches, and it's nice to say like, yeah, I've done that. So like now if someone wants to do it again, I'm like, yeah, we know how to do that. Like it's okay, we'll figure it out.
Thank you, amazing. And now I'm going to be passing on this other question to Karina.
All right. Speaking about the whole creative process, Dom, what was the hardest part about creating the Juntos fish?
I guess the hardest part was just like thinking about how to make it user friendly once it got there, and also like be able to be taken apart into such small pieces, because a lot of my go-to solutions are like, oh, we'll use PVC. Okay, well, PVC is in long pieces of tube that's not going to fit in a suitcase. So more like just the logistics. The plastic is actually I have it's not my first rodeo with the plastic. I tend to want to put plastic like in a lot of my designs, as Colleen knows. So I wasn't too worried about the plastic, like how it takes paint and stuff like that. More so just it being user friendly and withstanding like if it rains, if any of that stuff happens. So the logistics are probably the hardest part.
All right, amazing. And then for our last question for you, Dom, is going to be this. Do you have anything to say to young designers like yourself who are interested in doing community work?
Um, yeah, I feel like if you have a want to do something like this, it's just like you have to find people that are like-minded, and then everything will fall into place. Like it doesn't really matter if there's not already an opportunity or there's not like a club for it. Like make your own club. Find two or three people that also want to do it. And I'm super thankful to you, Ace, because you're such a go-getter. You're like, I'm gonna do this thing. And I was like, okay, let's do it. It's like it doesn't have to be something that you join. You can make it up as you go. And everything will fall into place where it's supposed to.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. So yeah, thank you so much, Dom. And now, Colleen, we're gonna be asking you and passing the baton back to Karina.
All right. This is a pretty long one, so I'm going to be reading it. All right. You had previously been my professor at the University of Florida, and thanks to your research and professional work as both an artist and researcher, you have given me, Ace, Dom, and the whole world the opportunity to meet and collaborate with the amazing theater company No Había Luz and their nonprofit organization Arte y Maña. How was your experience at the second annual Fiesta Centinela, doing many things all at once, such as being a researcher, workshop facilitator, and now both a friend and family member to me, Ace, Dom, and of course to No Había Luz and the community members, Orocovis?
Wow, thank you for that question, and thank you for those kind words. And I love all of you. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a word that won't sound overused because immediately I just want to say amazing. I am, as you all know, I feel so deeply connected to the kind of work that No Había Luz and Arte y Maña do, and just felt that connection even more so when we were there for Fiesta Centinela. And it was really beautiful. I had seen No Había Luz and Arte y Maña working with our students when some of us went there last May. And then we got a visit to Orocovis, a one-day visit. And even though I was still only there for a short time this time around, it felt like, and this is the thing that we have been talking about. This is the thing that we've been learning about. This is the thing that we've been anticipating. And I think it was really validating and heartwarming, I guess, to see that everything that No Había Luz says that they're about, they are about. Like, that is real. And that when they talk about, leading with care and love and community and solidarity, that is all very clear in the work that they're doing in Orocovis. And it is, as we saw, really successful. And I just think I think more stateside artists can and should be working in this model, in this way. And so it was really wonderful. And I was so happy to have been included in the workshop that you were doing, and also to be, there as a researcher as well, and as an artist, and as a student, and as No Había Luz's #1 fan, which I always say. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that response. And so my second question to you and the last question to you, you already touched upon a little bit about so maybe you can expand more on what you said. So personally, I'm inspired by your work as a theater artist and as a researcher, especially the work that you do that is so rich in Latinx culture. And so when we see No Había Luz and Arte y Maña's model of theater making, we see a lot of the things you said, like camaraderie, friendship, and overall feeling of love in the atmosphere and caretaking that's not particularly followed back in the United States, this popular model of theater making, which is commercial. And so my question is there anything you have to say about No Había Luz's model of theater making that theater companies back in the United States should be inspiring to achieve?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I might be a little repetitive here. So I think that very often in the commercial stateside model, we overlook or dismiss resources that we have as artists, resources like joy, like love. And I think for me, theater, the arts is how we sort of rehearse our humanity, right? And how we learn about ourselves. And so I think that using those resources, using those resources to explore what it means to be human in not a theoretical way although we can look at it through theoretical lenses, in a very real, practical, day-to-day, this is our lived experience kind of way, is really remarkable about the work that No Había Luz is doing. Sorry. And yeah, I mean, it's a model that I would like to follow, and I feel like the influence of their work and of our time in Orocovis is already, for example, I'm in a rehearsal process right now, and even though I consider myself a caretaker by nature, I feel like I'm being even more mindful about what it means to be a caretaker in an artistic space. And that is, and that means caretaking of the people, caretaking of the story, of the material, of time. And I feel like that is so far been just a really fantastic rehearsal process so far. And so I'm so grateful to No Había Luz for kind of infusing me with that energy leading up to this semester and the start of that process. But yeah, I think we could all take a page out of their book in terms of how we approach the work.
Okay, Karina, I have two questions for you, but they'll be split. One question for this interview, and then the other question for the interview with Yari and Joel. So Karina, you have been my support throughout this whole process from start to finish, giving me the company and the community that is both new to us, being there for me when I just felt completely lost and frustrated with the language barrier, and most importantly, being my friend and enjoying the beautiful space and the amazing community in Orocovis. You yourself have been surprised by the cultural differences in Puerto Rico and your own lived experience being Latinx, and you've grown a lot in your understanding in things like living on the hyphen, what it means to be Latinx, and also what it means to be a Latinx theater maker. So my question to you is, why is friendship and making real connections with the community members and the people you collaborate with are so important, especially being that we ourselves are early career theater makers?
I love that you were laughing at first because you and I always do that. Oh my God. I always say community is like the number one thing in art. And I think especially for this, a huge collaboration, like especially for us being our first time truly working on something, is such a big thing to make friends and to connect with people and just also moving in with like the community. And I think that was something that was really special, meeting people from La Fundación and making sure to connect with them and talk to them. And if they wanted to meet, it was like, yes, like, oh my God, I would love to speak with you, and just being appreciative and really they're opening their arms to you. So it's a beautiful thing to grab them by the arms and hold them and also open your arms as well. And I think that to me is really big. And that friendship really just makes sure that it is coming from your heart. The art is really pushing through from everyone's heart and everyone's feelings. And I think this was such a special experience. Like you said, I mean, I living on the hyphen is one of the weirdest things out there. And I express that. And I think especially because it was so culturally different from what I have perceived as Latinx, which in Miami is sadly kind of a judgmental Latinx culture of, and there is that separation, and it's not that friendship and love, and they don't really appreciate the arts as much, at least from my experience, my own personal experience. So I think to go into a culture that was so open and so loving and really also was doing it through the arts was really lovely. And just to have that friendship with them is lovely. I mean, I spoke with Joel a few times after we all left, and he helped me with my resume, and which I thought was funny. I'm like sending him voice memos about like how to put what we did on my resume, and he's like sending me things back, and we're just talking about it. And him and I are always joking about like going back to Puerto Rico, like when are we going back? And it's just that friendship and creating that bond of like, all right, this happened and this was great, but we could also continue it. And also like it just really makes the art so much more powerful, I think, if it's coming from a place that really is nurtured by love and not nurtured by like money or greed or just like, well, the performance has to happen. No, it's like it's also about just love and that shared community. And I think to me that was like the most important thing. And I've always say it in my style, community, community, community. I like number one priority is always community. For them
Right.
too.
And then everyone, just introduce yourselves, pronouns, and yeah, and who you are. And so I'll go first. My name is Ace, he, they. I was a workshop participant facilitator at the second annual Fiesta Centinela.
Hello, my name is Yari, she, her, and I am from Puerto Rico, from the theater company No Había Luz and the community company Arte y Maña.
Hi, my name is Joel. I'm from the company Arte y Maña, also collaborated with No Había Luz, and also part of the people that collaborate to create the magical event in Orocovis, Fiesta Centinela.
Oh, hi. I'm Karina Vega and she, they, and I helped with the taller. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You did that. All right. And from there, Karina, you have the first question.
Yes. This is a long one, so if you ever need me to
Let's
repeat
go!
anything, I will repeat. All right. With the second annual Fiesta Centinela, you guys had invited artists who are at different levels of their careers, from the theater company like Agua, Sol y Sereno, to the viral sensation of Chicle, and to the powerful female-led drums of Maracatu Caribe. And with us, recent college graduates who are just at the start of their artistic career, doing a community drawing workshop about togetherness, climate change, and hope. As a nonprofit organization, as well as members of your own theater company, No Había Luz, why is it important to keep on making the connections with all the artists you collaborate with, regardless of their levels of experience? Or in other words, why is it important to collaborate with other artists rather than doing everything for yourselves?
Amazing question.
Woo!
Well, first of all, we really believe in the power of arts during social process. So we'll definitely love this mix, this combination of new people that have a lot of years of experience, going together and creating more than an artistic event. Is like an event where you can really feel free to express yourself, discover new qualities, discover new connections with others, and feel like not feel alone. So I don't know, it's my personal feeling. When you are in this kind of events, you feel like you are part of something bigger, and you really learned about the youngest people and the older ones. And yeah, it's an experience that gives you permission to believe that we can live in life in another way.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Yes. What I can say about that amazing question. So for us, especially in my opinion, when you create community art for communities, you need to bring everyone in. And that means what Yari said, from the youngest to the oldest, to the most experienced, to the person that is beginning. You want all those input to allow you to keep growing your workshops, whatever you're creating. You want all those inputs in. You don't want to close yourself in a way that this is the way we need to do it. No, it's a way that there is always like a way, but you always are open to keep adding new tools to your repertoire. You want to add new tools. So it's important to do not marginalize or don't like cross line about like we want this kind of age and with kind of people. We are open to any kind of age, any kind of experience, because that reach the process. And you want people that have that experience in different levels. And for the people that are beginning, they will have a magical experience and they will take that for the rest of their life. And the people that already been doing this for many, many years, they can also open themselves to the younger and the new people and get something for them. So it's a collaboration, not only with the community, but with the artists, like a change of arts, a change of experience, and we grow and learn one another with everyone's experience. So it's important to you have a variety of ages and experience in any kind of, especially in this kind of project, because that will make the project even richer and better.
Thank you for that amazing responses, you guys. And yes, we did have a magical experience. And so, yeah, thank you so much for inviting us to that space and for that amazing festival, Orocovis. All right. And so for the second question is this. You guys have been an inspirational model as both a theater company and a community outreach organization. I personally remember Joel's inspirational words from the Community and Creativity Summer Abroad program with the University of Florida, in which he says there are all other alternatives in the theater arts industry that you can take. And me seeing the important work that you guys do, I really do believe that artists can help engage in community work, sustaining themselves financially, and also being creative individuals, sharing their work into the world. And so my question for you guys, looking at what Karina, Dom, and me, what we did is, what have you learned from seeing the next generation of artists like ourselves following in your footsteps with our drawing workshop for the community?
Ooh, I can begin with that because I was talking the other day about that just a little bit. There is a, how I can describe it? It is kind of like an urge of like creating a social impact in the younger generation. More than my generation, it was more about like being an artist and being like in movies and being like in the top. And yes, you have that kind of like mentality. It's not wrong these days, but also you have you see a lot of young artists with a meaning, finding the meaning of like what I will create that will impact community, that will impact my life, but will impact others. So it is a giving perspective about like doing art more that enrich myself as a person and bring my ego first. And I see a lot of generations is like willing to travel and go to a unknown area to like just explore and just give back whatever they have in the moment in their life they are. So it's really enthusiastic. It's really beautiful to see everyone getting together, but see like younger generation like thinking about the power of the art as a change for the next generation to come. We need to use the art as a way to create change in this system. And I love like see younger people like getting that, because I believe like the art has the power to create a social economical change, moral change, a social change. So we can use the more younger, the more people come together to bring that mentality will help the general audience to tell them that, you know, arts matter, and it matters to create change in this world. So the more people we have to bring that mentality, the better. That's what I think.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I just want to add that for us, I don't know, makes me feel full and very grateful because when we were studying in the university, we had some teachers and some artists around us that really make us feel like in the same boat with them, like treat us like professionals and responsible about what we do, and makes us feel that our ideas are important, and all that. I think that gave us the security to feel okay, we can do it. And all the time I want to do that to others. And all the time, if I have the chance to offer a workshop for students in the university, but in high school, always I try to make them feel like that, like they are the same. We are just like working together, and yeah, we need to deal with the differences, and it's interesting how we can manage that situation. And also it's important follow the lead. You know, if someone is the leader, just be aware and follow the lead, because sometimes this is the work that you need to do. But don't feel like, okay, I am younger, so they are the ones that have the reason, they are the ones that know what we need to do. No, because in the arts we can do whatever you want. The only thing that you need to have is the passion and the intention and the clarity. Be clear in your mind and in your soul and communicate. So I like to feel that this barrier or this frontera is not too tight, and we can like mix together and try to really put in the table or in la sopa, in the food, create a food with all the knowledge that everyone have. So at the end, yeah, I feel very grateful that you guys trust us and come here, and also the youngers, de los más pequeños que ustedes, the guys from the project Kai, that they are like 12 to 17 years old, and they were there like doing their work, doing their workshops, and doing it great. So this is beautiful, and I want to keep doing that.
Yes, yeah, amazing. Yeah, I mean, once you're there in this space at the Fiesta Centinela, you get to really see all the generations there together with a single passion of expressing themselves through the arts. And so, yeah, so thank you guys for doing that. And so we're going to be running short on time here, so I'll just skip to the last question for you guys. And it's going to be a doozy. All right. So earlier this month, a report released by the United Nations says that the ozone layer is on track to recover within 4 decades, as in the ozone layer is repairing itself. And so that is good news for climate activists like ourselves. However, the fight for our planet still goes on, since we're still dependent on fossil fuels and these non-renewable energy sources like oil and gas. And with now the 18 amazing years since No Había Luz has been a company fighting for climate justice in Puerto Rico and around the world, what do you have to say to young artists who are still worried about the future of our planet Earth?
Joel, start. If you want.
Okay, I will start with that question. What I can say to the to the youngest audience, can you repeat that?
Lo que dijo fue sobre el cambio climático.
Repítelo.
Ah, mira, ya voy
Exacto.
a traducir. I will be the translator.
No, it's not the last part. I want the last part.
So yeah, so what do you have to say to young artists who are still worried about the future of the planet Earth?
Well, the young audience and everyone else should still worry. This is a major, a great news for us, but it's not mean that now we are going like, hey, let's go, it's over. The planet is safe, we won. This is just the beginning of like continuing the programming and continue like raising the voice against climate change. I will say to the young audience, like continuing the work, continue talking about it, bring those topics, and also continue doing the work, because that's all it matters. Yes, it's something that a victory to take and say like this is going well, but it's not over. It's just like the beginning of like a young, like a long journey that will be in the future generation. There is a lot of messed up stuff happening at this moment. But I don't want to even mention what everything that is happening, but there's a lot of stuff happening that are destroying our planet, and there is not even covered by the news, it's not covered by anyone. So all those groups have to come together and continue working to maintain our planet for the next generation to have a healthy planet to go. So my advice for me, for my generation, for the generation that was before me, is like, we need to keep fighting, we need to keep working, we need to keep like talking about climate change and make everyone participate to save our only planet that we have so far.
Yeah, and I want to add that for me, the arts are important because let you connect with yourself. So when you connect with yourself, you are more capable to understand how you feel and what you want. And I think that the society in general lives like in this track about the power, about the money, about you need to do what society tells you, and all that concepts that definitely are related with how we are trading the planet. So I really believe that arts can make you and make the new generations connect with themselves and really try to live in a better way, in a more conscious way.
Yes, thank you so much for you guys' amazing responses. Yeah, it's really inspirational that the fight still continues and we are still here to be there. And so we still have a little bit more time. So actually I have one question to direct to Karina, and you guys can listen to that. So yeah, so Karina, you and I talk a lot about our own childhoods and have built our friendship connecting with one another through our own inner child. And on the night we arrived to the Ana Delila Burgos Ortiz Foundation in Orocovis, you mentioned that as a kid, the Fiesta Centinela was something that you would have wanted when you were younger. And I remember you talking to Joel's father when he entered into the workshop space and you convincing him to draw, what does your island look like? And after that, we commented on how you don't need to be a child to participate because there's an inner child within us all. And so with the amazing guidance from Arte y Maña and company members from No Había Luz and our own Dr. Colleen Rua, how does it feel to give back to the members of a community that's something that you've always wanted to experience when you were younger?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful thing to experience and to share with people. And I remember specifically this lady came and she was like, I haven't drawn in years. No. And I was like, that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. And she came up to me with her scale. She was like, oh my God, it's been years since I've drawn. Like that felt so good, and it's that connection of like connecting again, the arts with yourself and with others, and I think it was such a beautiful thing to experience and to see with people. And even though like I also drew on a scale, and I got to be part of it. And I think just because you're not also like participating in it and going workshop to workshop, but also giving back is beautiful. And it's acknowledging that something that you once would have loved, you're doing for others and you're helping others, and just experiencing that. And also, I mean, through talking with No Había Luz and Arte y Maña, and I remember I had a conversation with one of you guys for a really long time about my whole like childhood and how healing the arts are and how it's so beautiful to continue that and the work that you guys do. So I think it was just something that felt so nice to participate in and to be able to also experience firsthand and to also experience it secondhand and just seeing others do it. And it's truly something that's just lovely. And I mean, I'm glad people get to experience it, and I hope and I know people will continue to experience it, which is so great.
All right, thank you, Karina, for that amazing response. And yeah, just to add on to that, this is the work that No Había Luz and Arte y Maña does. It's universal because there's an inner child within us all. So the fight for climate justice can reach everyone through their art and through their work and through their collaboration and through their connecting with other artists, especially in Puerto Rico. And so, yeah, on that note, I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for inviting us into the community, for collaborating with us, for trusting in us, for giving me the opportunity to look forward to the future. And I couldn't have done that. We couldn't have done that if you guys weren't who you are today. And we looks up so much to you guys. And so yeah, thank you. And so yeah, and we look forward to collaborating with you again in the future.
I want to say, Ace, that was beautiful. One conversation that we had before you leaving after May in Creativity and Community. You told me that you want to be a farmer and just dedicate your life to plant flowers. And I think that in a way, this is exactly what you are doing right now. Some kind of different flowers, maybe. But yeah, this is what you are doing. And I need to tell you that both, Karina too, that you came here and you really bring us like something very beautiful, sweet, and I don't know, you bring calm. We feel nice with you guys around. Was not like a pressure to take care of you two, or no, you just were there, and day by day you start like doing more and more, and we appreciate it a lot. And I think that yeah, you are just making flowers growing. So I am happy for that, and I am really want to keep collaborating with you two, and I hope everywhere. I can be in Puerto Rico, can be in Florida, in the world, but definitely you two and your friends are invited for Fiesta Centinela 2023. So this is it.
Already invited, yes. Thank you so much, both of you. Like Yari said, it was an incredible experience to have you both. And we're really proud, glad, and humble to have you both of you and then collect all your memories and experience and all the good work you did. We are really happy about that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, on that note, nos vemos pronto.
Let's take a photo. Let's take a photo. Let's take a photo.
Okay, okay.
Take a photo for Arte y Maña. Let's see how I do. Okay, we'll do.
Ya lo tienes.
Okay, tengo. Yay. Ya veré cómo sale.